Welcome to the Creating Experience podcast, where we take you behind the scenes of unforgettable events. I'm Emma, and I'm joined by my co-host James. Together, we bring you years of experience in the event industry. Hello.
How you going?
We're back.
We are?
And we're married.
So what are we talking about today?
How are you finding your ring, actually?
Oh, it's fine.
Who designed it?
Cranston. Adam.
Little bit of a plug.
There's a plug.
We're going to give
we get that discount off that invoice now, mate.
You've already paid it. Actually, I'm banging on about this 1 year
You are.
because
Better get started on that,
yeah. So discount on that one. There you go. No, we don't ask for
Cranston
discounts.
Jewelry.
Sorry, my chair's a little bit squeaky today. Sorry about that, everyone listening. Okay, so we're going to talk about our wedding, and please don't tune out because we're going to give you tips
Yeah.
on what to do and what not to do.
It was an experience.
Planning a wedding, please do it with more than a month lead-in time.
Yeah.
No,
I think
it was about 13 weeks, I think. 12 weeks.
something like that.
But in between, I guess planning a wedding is exactly like planning an event, and especially when you're doing a wedding from the ground up, which is what we did.
Yes.
And when we say the ground up, we mean
Literally
the ground.
a blank equestrian pad in this situation.
Thank you to Mr. and Mrs. Callaghan.
Yep. I can't say it was a one-off event because we were the second wedding.
We were the second wedding,
So
but I'm not sure
probably
if
the
they'll let
last.
us. Yeah. Especially because your dad was out there with the backhoe or whatever it was trying to fix the grass.
There's going to be a clause in there about repairing turf.
Yeah. We can't help it, which leads us into wet weather backup plans, because on our wedding day it rained.
It
rained some more. And I was just sitting there going...
stopped.
And it stopped right as we got married, but we ended up going with our wet weather backup plan, which was awesome.
We'll elaborate more on that.
Yeah.
Where are we going to start? Because I think we just need to start at the beginning.
So planning a wedding. I don't even know where to start. So, okay, let's start with the marquee. So we went with a marquee option with a flooring, an absolute must, which we have covered before in our podcast.
Yeah.
If you are having a marquee wedding or an event, please put a floor in it. Please have budget for a floor.
Yeah.
Because it is a make or break of your event.
Yeah, I mean, we're doing one the event we're doing this weekend is going on a tennis court, and they've got a floor on it as well.
Well, okay.
That's what I was about to say. Unless your floor is actually solid, but this one's doing a floor as well. So
Okay.
I don't know.
I just think flooring is a must. I've done a wedding before in on grass, and it was raining. It was muddy. I think I've touched on this before, but I ended up stopping to get gumboots on the way to the wedding because it was cold and wet and muddy. So
and I mean ours anyway. We were on an equestrian training pad, so it was I think it was 20 meters wide by 20 meters wide by 50 meters, but it was all gravel. So a floor for us was a must. But we had a 40 meter by 15 meter premium structure from our good friends at Prestige Event.
Yes, they definitely looked after us.
Legends. But they're the go-to guys if you need a marquee or furniture, anything you put in it.
And
if you need AV, talk to them too, because you get us. But if you want that one-stop shop.
But our structure was not like a normal marquee. It was a beautifully curved looking one as well. So
15 metre wide one. But what we did is we had a 40 metre by 15 metre structure, and we broke it up. So the back 5 metre bay was actually just storage. We actually accounted for storage, which a number of suppliers were like, "Oh, you've actually got storage." I was like, "Yes,
because
we accounted for it." And that didn't include the kitchen. We then had a 6x6 marquee with a floor out the back for the kitchen, which was at the back corner. So it was back 5 meters with storage, and then 15
then 10.
15 then 10. Well, no, that's only must have been 20 then.
No, I can't remember.
10 or 15.
Yeah.
Anyway, but we then had the main room section, which I think it might have been 20 because we had 5 metre bay for the stage and 15 or 25.
Yeah, it must have been. Mm.
And then we had 10 metres and then 10 metre veranda.
Yeah, which was our original wet weather backup plan, which was a clear roof at the front.
Yeah.
But what we ended up doing is we had a first wet weather backup, then we had a second one, and then we ended up going with our third, which was on stage.
On stage inside. So we had in the main section of the reception area, then we had the veranda. The main section of the marquee was all white roof, but we black lined it, black silked it, and then we actually did a festoon canopy, and obviously we did the production for our own wedding. I think we just got to get some video. We're going to put the video.
Yeah, we'll put some little snippets in because
Let's Green stage. It was like the stage was like the focal piece, and then it was a canapé style wedding, essentially. Well, half sit down, half like we had tables and then we had bar tables.
We did grazing kind of stations, so. It was Gary's idea from Archer, who was our catering, Archer Hospitality, and I guess the whole thing about our wedding was it was out of the box. So it wasn't your traditional white. Yep. We went black and gold as our theme.
Yep.
Our food, we had 3 stations. So one was a pasta station, one was a taco station, and one was a barbecue station, which was outside. So there was 3 chefs cooking at the one time. It was just insane. The feedback on the food was like, it was amazing.
Yeah.
I remember Gary sitting down with me and going, sit down and eat. Yeah. That's something that...
That's something that we both said. We didn't eat. We actually... Because it was so much to do. It does go fast. So that's something a little bit different. So I guess... just thinking outside of the box, you don't have to have your traditional sit down. You don't have to have your traditional roving canapes. No. You can have different things. Yeah. In saying that, what we did do is we had roving canapes for the ceremony. So before as people arrived, the bar was open. Yep. There was canapes to eat. So no one went hungry. Yeah, and the plan originally was. We obviously had the equestrian pad, but as they walk into the property, there's this grassy hill area that overlooks the valley in Lambs Valley. And so we actually had a stage set up.
That got set up the day before.
Stage set up. And the plan was obviously for to be outside, but we obviously had this stage that was leveled because it was a little bit of an amphitheatre tile. Mm. But yeah, obviously we had to activate the wet weather plan because... we woke up that morning and it was blue skies, awesome weather. And then we look at the radar and out west, there was just this big dark blue patch that was like 50 kilometres long, wide. So it was going to hit us. And it did. It hit us at 12:30.
Our wedding was at 4.
And the wedding was at 4. And obviously Emma was off getting ready. And me and my brother Dan were standing there watching this. It's just... teeming, like absolutely teeming down.
I was only 3 minutes down the road.
And it got to 3 o'clock and we're looking at it, it's still raining.
I think you rang me at 3:10 and go, what do you want to do? And I said, you're on site, which my bridesmaid Janie loved because she's like, you're getting married and you still got a vent talk.
Yeah. I was still standing in shorts and a t-shirt.
Yeah. And he's like, what do you want to do? And I was like, you're on site. I don't know. You make the call. Then I think you rang me back at 20 to 4.
Nah, I was getting dressed by that point.
Oh, are you?
Yeah. It was probably quarter to 3. Quarter to 3 I called and said, we're going to make a call an hour out either way. And then we held off to 3:10 because it looked like it was clearing.
Yeah.
But it wasn't. Mm. And so we were like, no, we're going inside. So we had to move all the chairs inside, clear the stage, because we had the drum kit.
Yeah, we had the drum kit.
We struck the drum kit off stage and stuff.
Yeah.
So we cleared everything.
Set the flowers.
So me and Dan went and got dressed at 3:30 for a 4 o'clock
wedding.
For a 4 o'clock wedding. Walked in at 3:45, ready to go.
Typical male. There we go.
And then you rocked up at 4:10. So
yeah, I was fashionably late, but
but we got married inside,
and it was insane. We had confetti cannon, rice confetti cannons. We had. Did we have sparklers?
We had sparklers, yes. We didn't do this. The CO2 was for something.
The CO2 didn't cut, yeah. So flowers were insane. Botanical Workshop, Katie did all of our flowers. They were incredible. Again, we went non-traditional, red, pinks and some greenery, which was absolutely beautiful.
Yep.
Our celebrant, Jimmy Love, nailed it. He
Absolutely
was so good. Such a easygoing celebrant. Got the best out of both of us, I think, when it came to our wedding vows.
Yep.
Because you love talking.
Sure do. Sure do.
Not. Our photographer, so we'll put some photos up. We still haven't released them. It's been 2 months.
2 months, 2.5 months.
2.5 months, and we haven't even had a chance to sit down together to go through our photos.
Yep.
But they are absolutely stunning.
Yep.
She is just the best photographer. If you need a wedding photographer or a photographer for anything, Kendall is incredible.
Yep.
Our friend who's filming this does all of our podcasts and all of our content, Aaron, Colony Creative, another incredible human who we absolutely love. Captured our vows and some footage throughout the night, which was amazing.
Yep.
Drinks. You can tell us all about the alcoholic beverages.
What do you mean? I just drank solo all night.
I drank margaritas all night.
But we had, Memory Lane, wedding and events.
And their margies are so good.
They got smashed.
Yeah.
I know a few people that smashed them a little bit too hard.
Yeah, ended up.
But we won't go there.
But that's RSA, so that's not good. So, and then we are fortunate enough to have the pick of the crop for our musicians.
Yes.
We had live music all day.
Yep. Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we did. We had all day, apart from set breaks.
Yep.
And Jamie Lindsay, who is another incredible artist, did our ceremony music for entry and signing.
Yep.
And then our beautiful friends Alaska, Kelly and Toby did our leaving song.
Yep.
And for those who don't really know us that well, we're musical theatre nerds. And so we incorporated a little bit of musical theatre throughout our whole wedding day, including our first dance.
Yep.
Which was sung by our friend Tony Williams and Dylan Pollard.
Yep.
Played keys as well. Choreographed first dance by Emma Callaghan.
By me.
But then I kept forgetting the steps and Jimmy was really good. So my background's dancing. He's a musician, but he got it better than I did.
I was teaching her because she kept forgetting what the steps were.
In saying that, though, I just choreographed a first dance for my PT, Emma, and
then you tried to copy that.
I tried to copy it, and then I wanted to change it, and then I just kept getting mixed up with them all. So this is why I don't choreograph first dances anymore, because I just go, Then our friends, we have a house band called The House Band. That's JC Entertainment and Events, and they do we do all of our carols and Stars of the Central Coast, and anytime you need a band that's a little bit like for a particular particular projects. But our original band members were there.
Yep.
So we had Jimmy on drums. He got off and did a few songs.
Yep.
Olivia and Daniel Friend, Andrew Renfrew.
And
Dylan played keys.
Yep.
And it was so much fun having a dance and having Jimmy on drums.
We hadn't played together for, I don't know, 5 years or something like that.
Sorry, my friends are just ringing me from Central Coast Salsa.
Oh.
Corinne. Yes. So that's, and Asha, then we had our Jamie Lindsay and Asha played our wedding reception with their band. And again, were incredible.
Yeah.
And then Emma Callaghan had a few margaritas and decided she was a singer on the night and grabbed the microphone.
Yep.
Why did you let me do that?
Well, you were just doing whatever you wanted to do, so.
It was my day. I must say, though, as a bride, I made the most of every single second of my wedding. I danced with all my friends. I didn't eat as much as I wanted to, but...
you definitely drank as much as you wanted to.
No, well, I didn't wake up hungover the next day. I was there packing up we were packing up our own wedding the next day. Anyway, but I don't think there was anything on our day that we didn't, like, go without, I guess, or plan. I don't think there's any vendor, anything from that perspective I would change on our day. Cakes by Kyla gave us our wedding cake as our wedding present, which is just like, she's incredible. Bonnie from Everlong Events, again, because we went with the black and gold theme, she kind of helped me with bits and pieces of styling and then helped me put it together. And I set it all up the day before, but then I made her come. She was a wedding guest. And then I'm like, can you just please look at my styling, the way I did it, to see if I needed to change anything.
With the bumping, because what we got married on a Tuesday. It was the Tuesday after the Easter weekend.
Yeah. And we did that because...
we thought there'd be no events on that day. We had 2 events that day come in.
And the date was 2/4/24, and that was our 9th year anniversary of when we met. So the day was symbolic. The date was symbolic. But yes, keep going.
But yeah, so the marquee went in the week before the Easter weekend, and then we spent Easter weekend setting it all up, and then it all came out the next day. All the everything was out of the marquee the next day.
Yeah, it was.
And then the Thursday afternoon it was gone, and they had massive rains come
because we went to Port Macquarie.
We went to Port
for our honeymoon, which we worked on Xavier Road.
Yep.
But anyway, we'll get a honeymoon one day.
Yeah.
My hair, my awesome hairdresser, Jules Sheridan. She's amazing. And then Lee, makeup artist. Lee, again, is incredible. She does some crazy makeup, people's makeup. She's like one of the best in the industry. I love her. We've already mentioned Adam for our rings.
Yep.
Jimmy designed this one himself with Adam.
I did.
It's very beautiful. Thought it wasn't blingy enough, so he put more bling on it. He knows me too well. Signage, Love Ivory Co. They were a startup company that I found on Instagram and loved their stuff, and asked her if she can do some out of the box because everything was black with gold writing, and she took on the challenge and absolutely nailed it. Blueberry Events, they gave us our cake backdrop, which was awesome. It was like a shimmer wall. Neon from Yui Event Collective, and then our friend Chris King as our MC.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure that's all of our vendors.
I think you've covered it all.
I think I've covered it all. Every single person absolutely nailed it. We know people in the industry that work well, and we obviously had so many choices. And I could have had, 100 makeup artists, and it was so hard to choose between all of our friends in the industry. So I guess working in the industry has its benefits but then it also has its disadvantages, because you'd love to use every single one of your suppliers. But we just couldn't.
No.
But wouldn't change a thing apart from not bumping out ourselves the next day and booking a wedding. Booking a honeymoon.
And a week after. And then a honeymoon.
A honeymoon would be great. So. Hopefully next podcast we'll be talking about our honeymoon. We're going back to Port Macquarie again next week.
Yep.
Is that a honeymoon?
No, it's not. We're going to work.
And then the week after that, we're going to Coffs Harbour, but that's not a holiday either.
No. So
anyway. So that was our wedding.
Yeah.
If you need advice on weddings, what to do, what not to do, make sure you have a wet weather backup plan. Yeah. This is for any event, really.
What else? Yeah.
Work with trusted suppliers that you love and know that will be able for you to enjoy your day.
And do it properly to the best, even power. We obviously, we haven't even touched on power, cool rooms.
Power, cool rooms, toilets.
But, obviously there's a lot of budget.
Accessories.
A budget. There can be budget constraints, but it's making sure that, the last thing you want is budget constraints to affect the outcome. Of the day. So if something's not affordable, maybe you need to rethink just to have that safety net.
Yeah,
you
don't
want to run I think we ran a 60 kVA for that.
I thought you weren't talking about our budget then. I was like,
No. 60 kVA generator, but if we had to run it with a 20, it would have done it, but it might have been hit and miss, and that's the last thing you want.
Yeah,
we had a 60 kVA run for 4 days, and we didn't fill it up.
Straight?
No, we turned it on.
I was going to say,
but
that's a long running generator.
But so it's just things like that, obviously, and making sure the kitchen. Gaz loved his kitchen setup. So
yeah, make sure you. I guess that's the other thing is if you're going to do a marquee style wedding, my advice for starters would be have a wedding planner and someone, an on the day coordinator if you're not experienced in events, because they'll help you with all of this as well.
Yeah, and they kind of act like I suppose your event. Sometimes if you're in a venue, your venue coordinator kind of fills that void a little bit and pulls everything together.
Yeah.
And if you do a pop up or something like that, and you don't have that person to help pull it all together, your suppliers will be left scratching their heads in some areas, and it's just having that person to help guide it and go, yep.
And they can also do your run sheets and your bump in, bump out, all of that as well.
But
we're just fortunate enough that this is what we do for a living.
Yep.
It's cool.
I think that's it. I don't know.
But the suppliers that we use can be used for events as well. So they all specialise in events. So any of those, we'll tag everyone in our thank yous that I haven't got around to doing yet. But we'll do some photos of the suppliers. And if you like any of them, please reach out. If you've got an event to this scale and you need assistance in planning, please reach out. That's what we specialise in.
Yep.
Sound lighting, LED, and event management by JC Entertainment and Events.
Yeah, you forgot to mention them.
I forgot to mention them. Cool. All right. Well, that's a wrap.
We'll catch you next time.
I'm exhausted thinking about that.
It was a big day.
It was a big day.
Yeah.
But it was good.
It was. We'll see you later.
And now I'm Mrs. Callaghan. See you guys. Bye.
So checking out the Creating Experience podcast. You can find the podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, as well as YouTube. Be sure to check out our socials as well. We're on Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn as well. And if you have an event coming up that you need assistance on, feel free to head to our website, www.jcentertainment.com.au, or give us a call on 1-800-JC-Events.